Shopify, TikTok Shop, Amazon, FBA, which ones are the best for you to focus on in 2026 and which ones are going to get you the best results? What I'm going to be doing is telling you my personal experience of all of them, my personal knowledge and my stories and the pros and cons of each and every single one so you can make the best informed decision for yourself. So without further ado, let's start with, actually, before we get into any of them, right? If you don't know me already, my name's Adam. I've been in e-commerce now for 6 years, doing Amazon, FBA, TikTok Shop, and a tiny bit of Shopify as well. You know, we've been doing it for 6 years. We do £3.3 million per year in sales, and that's growing to 4 to 4.5 million this year is what we're forecasted to do. So you're in good hands. I don't say that to show off or flex or anything like that. Basically just telling you to show you that you are in good hands and you're listening to the right person. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, across every single thing that I just mentioned there, like I said, that is e-commerce and that is you selling online. And for each and every single one of these, I'm going to be talking about you having your own brand on each and every single one of these platforms. So whether you're selling on Shopify, you're with your own brand. Whether you're on Amazon, you're with your own brand. And whether you're with TikTok Shop, you're again with your own brand. So let's get into Shopify first of all to begin with. What Shopify is you selling on your own website, simply put, right? You create your own brand. Let's say it's this electrolyte brand, okay? This electrolyte brand. You create this brand, this packaging and stuff like this. You create the color scheme and all that stuff. And then you go ahead and create a website which has got similar color schemes and stuff like this. Same like logo in the top left corner and stuff. And it's yours, right? Yours, you're starting from ground zero. Now you have the huge advantage of this is you own everything, right? We've got into the differences between building a brand and reselling, right, before in previous videos. However, with this now, you can create this and you control this, but now you don't own the control that if you own the website, you control the website, you control the customer data, you control how you market things and everything, right? Which is amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. If you can ever get sales on Shopify, it's absolutely amazing. And another reason why is because you're going to make the most money out of any other platform, naturally, right? Because it's your website, the fees are the lowest, right? The absolute lowest. You're going to be getting charged like 3 to 4% if you take into account every single fee, where conversely with the other platforms, it is more, which I'll get onto pretty soon. The next thing is when you build your own website, you start to get customers, you start to get emails, you're getting consistent sales, your business starts to become worth a lot more than it would on any other platform as well. And like I said, the margins are higher, and I've written down a little bit here. It's a little bit more flexible in terms of policies and stuff as well. Basically, you're not anyone's bitch, so you can just go ahead and do whatever the fuck you want on your website. As long as you're not scamming people, you can create bundles, you can create upsells, you can do this and that and this, email marketing, everything. It's super, super flexible, and you don't get that ability on a lot of other platforms, right? Now, I've spoke about a lot of advantages there, and it's super good, amazing. Now, the biggest con is it's the hardest place that you will ever be able to get sales. Obviously, right? No one knows your brand. No one likes your brand. No one trusts your brand. No one's ever seen your brand before. So how do you think getting someone to buy your product over, for example, going to Amazon, which is the most trusted and the biggest e-commerce platform in the world, like how do you think your own website, how do you think the conversion rate is going to be? How do you think how easy do you think it is going to get people to buy, right? It's going to be super, super hard. There are various things that you can do to build trust and increase your conversion rate 100%, but that's just something to keep in mind. It's going to be the hardest nut to crack. Now, the other thing is you have to generate your own traffic, which means you have to spend more money on ads than any other platform, right? You have to run meta ads on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like this, maybe Google ads to get eyeballs to your website, right? No, again, like I said, no one knows your brand, so no one likes your brand, no one trusts your brand, so nobody's coming to visit your website, bro. So like you have to create that traffic initially until you build a huge brand and people start searching for it organically, right? Which can be quite costly, right? Especially with meta ads, it can be quite costly. So you really need to be focusing on certain things to make sure you're profitable when people are coming to your site, right? Another disadvantage is it can be slower than Amazon, again, for that other reason, the trust and getting eyeballs to there. And finally, it does require a lot of skill. it really, really does require a lot of skill. We're focusing on it now more than ever because I think if you can, crack this, then you've got things covered for sure. Like your business is bulletproof. However, doing it straight away from ground zero as a beginner, I would not recommend. I really wouldn't recommend that. Now I've got so much experience doing Amazon FBA and also TikTok Shop. It makes things significantly easier with the Shopify side. Still hard, but significantly easier. And then one final thing is your conversion rates usually are much lower on your website, obviously, because like I said, no one knows, likes, and trusts your brand. Now let's go into Amazon. Now, again, we've got our own brand, we've got our own electrolyte brand, for example, and we list it on Amazon, we sell it as our own brand. Cool. Amazon is just a platform. Like I said, you're selling it on Amazon. Now, Amazon is the biggest e-commerce platform in the world, the biggest company in the world, one of them as well. So it's like the trust is there, it's already inbuilt. So like that's me just explaining it, but how explaining it, I've just given you one advantage. People know, like, and trust Amazon. So whether people know your brand or not, if it's on Amazon and it's got Prime for next day delivery, people fucking buy your product. And especially if it's a next day delivery, they just click buy because they have a one-click buy button and bang. People get it to the door the next day, which is amazing. So that leads to conversion rates being much higher, obviously. And also the cost for you to get eyeballs to your listing and stuff like that is obviously much lower once again as well. So there are some huge advantages to it, and it's very easy to start generating revenue fast and also profitably as well. And I did say in the Shopify section, it's easy to scale, it's high margin and stuff. It can be high margin and stuff on Amazon as well, and pretty easy to scale. However, obviously there are lots of fees on Amazon. They do handle quite a lot of the stuff. So they'll handle, like, for example, the fulfillment, they'll store the goods, they'll do all the picking, packing, shipping and stuff like that. So it can eat into your margin. However, when you're building your own brand, no matter what platform you sell on, the margins, like if you're building a proper brand with good margin, then your margins are always going to be okay and covered on every single platform that you use. So I wouldn't worry about it too much, but just know that like Amazon's fees can be quite hefty, especially when they're doing all the fulfillment and stuff like that. Now, another disadvantage is like you don't own any of the customer data, really, do you? Like all the customers on Amazon are Amazon's customers and Amazon's customers alone. So therefore, like when you are selling and stuff like this, you don't collect any emails, which is not as valuable as the Shopify side. However, when you are making consistent sales, your business still does become worth something. Like for example, our business is worth over £1 million now from 3.5 years ago being worth zero. And it's started off solely just on Amazon. Now we're on TikTok Shop and a tiny bit on Shopify, but still mainly Amazon. And I tell you, it's worth that amount already, right? When we crack Shopify, when we, TikTok Shop's doing well already. So like, it doesn't just have to be Shopify. It can be with quite a lot on just Amazon. It can be with quite a lot on just TikTok Shop. It can be with quite a lot on Shopify as well, okay? And the last disadvantages before I move on to TikTok Shop, right, is Amazon can copy your products on some occasions. It doesn't happen often, right? People always say this to me, right? And for some people, it's the reason that holds them back from starting. They always say, oh, but if my product starts to go well, can't Amazon just copy it? Yeah, they can, for sure. However, their main interest and main goal isn't particularly to do that. So I wouldn't really be too worried, guys. I really wouldn't be too worried. I've not had it happen to any of my products. And out of the many friends that I have which have 7-figure businesses owning a brand, I've only ever really heard once of it happening on one product in one niche. So no, it doesn't happen a lot. I know you hear the horror stories and stuff like that. However, what we teach people as well inside our academy is basically we tell them to look for niches where we show them exactly the niches which Amazon aren't particularly going to copy either. But like I said as well, they're not particularly interested in it because the more the years go by, the more third-party sellers there are over Amazon sellers. The more third-party sellers there are over actually Amazon themselves every year that goes by. So, that is what it is, right? So you got Shopify, no one knows you, and you got to pay for traffic. You got Amazon, which everybody knows and likes and trusts Amazon. Conversion rates pretty good, and you get your products the next day and stuff like that. And now you got TikTok Shop, okay? Now TikTok Shop is a platform primarily, in my opinion, for visibility for your product or your brand, right? Like we said, no one knows, likes, or trusts your brand. Let's say if this is the brand, right? No one knows it, no one likes it, no one trusts it. TikTok Shop is a very good way for generating eyeballs, getting eyeballs to your product and selling your product, okay? Like we said, with Shopify, you can spend money on ads to get people to your website. With TikTok, you can get a lot of these eyeballs organically with really good videos. Maybe a little bit of money on advertising, but nowhere near as much as Shopify, as the Meta/Shopify side of things. TikTok Shop is amazing for this stuff, blowing up your brand through just creating videos. You can get so much organic reach that it's absolutely ridiculous. And the more the years go by, the harder it is going to be to get these organic stuff as well. Okay, so you can just make one of your products go viral. It can literally make a big turning point for your brand. Now, a big advantage of that is as well, and this has happened with a couple of our products and brands before, like when you make it go viral on TikTok Shop, that creates a snowball effect everywhere else, right? People will start searching for it on Amazon organically, and you get more sales on Amazon. People will start to search it on Google, and your website will start to show up, and you will start to get, and you'll start to get sales on your website organically without ads, okay? And then also, obviously, people will be buying it on TikTok Shop as well, of course. With TikTok Shop as well, the competition is much less at the moment, but like I said, it's going to keep on going and going and going and going, up and up and up, much like the fees are going to go up and up, like I'm going to get onto in a moment. Now, TikTok Shop's kind of in a pro and con at the minute about the fees. Like the fees aren't crazy on there, but ever since I started over 2 years ago now, they've just gone up and up and up. Like they started, it was free. It was literally free, had no fees, and all you had to think about was a fulfillment fee, which the customer paid anyway. But now, for example, like we have to think about a 9% fee with TikTok, and yeah, the customer still pays for shipping. But the pro is definitely lower in terms of the fees and stuff like this, but conversely, if I get onto the cons right now, like it is a discounter platform. Really, it's for the products which work best are like the ones for impulse buying, things which people are going to just buy there and then, but oh, this is cool. That works the best, but not necessarily the only product which can be sold on there. And also, like I said, it is a discounter platform. Really, like products like on Amazon, you can sell at a premium, right? You can sell at like $29.99 when you can sell on your website at $19.99, and you can sell on Amazon for $29.99. On TikTok, you're going to be wanting to be like $19.99 as well, similar to your website, or maybe $23.99 or $24.99. People just like the deals and bargains on TikTok because it's how they started out. They were giving billions and billions and billions of pounds away just to gain market share. They were giving away things for free almost and giving so much discount. That people just, when they shop on TikTok now, they have this misconception now that it's just a discounter platform. But TikTok aren't giving discounts anymore. Only the people like myself, the brand owners, can give the discounts from now. And people don't have the margin to do that, what TikTok were doing. So like people expect just naturally lower prices on TikTok, which isn't ideal. And the average order values are definitely lower while we're on that section, like significantly lower. It does require a machine really as well. So for example, you need to be pumping out content every single day if you actually want to make it on TikTok Shop. You also need to be utilizing like affiliates and stuff like this, but this can be an advantage as well. Like if you have a good army and network of affiliates, you can make your product go viral, but again, you do have to build that over a long period of time. And working with affiliates, I tell you, is not easy at all. We do it on a daily basis. However, we're getting good results and we do have a system for it. So, that helps really. To be honest, as well, like with all of them as well, another con is like just operational headaches, like returns and logistics and stuff like that. That's for every single one. And finally, with TikTok Shop, like the platform is ever growing and it's ever evolving. So it's like the rules are changing so damn fast, which is kind of a disadvantage as well. Okay, so now you've got all of them in place, right? I've just explained them all, the pros and the cons, and explained a little bit about them. You will probably be thinking now that all of them in some way, shape or form seem pretty good, right? And you are 100% correct in doing so. Now, personally, in my opinion, what I do right now, and anytime I start a new brand, all I'm doing at the moment is just utilizing TikTok Shop and Amazon. TikTok Shop for visibility and blowing up my brand and making it go viral and getting eyeballs to the brand, and Amazon just to be there to build trust and also make a lot higher in terms of margin, to be fair. Like I discount the product on TikTok, I don't make too much money on it, but to get so much eyeballs, and I also have it on Amazon. And then third of all, like we do create our own website, however, to get your brand to start, like what we teach our clients as well. All you need to do to start is the TikTok and Amazon. And that can get you to making anywhere from 5K per month all the way to 100-ish thousand pound a month in profit, might I say, as well, in profit, right? You can get to significantly high numbers just on the TikTok Shop and Amazon platform. You know, we just last month we did about 75 grand in net profit, over 400K in sales. And that was mainly just on Amazon and TikTok Shop as well. So now we're focusing more on Shopify, but like, unless you really want to just only focus on Shopify and not focus on any of the other platforms, sure, do it. But like if you want all of them, all three of them, you start off with them two, first of all, you master it, start making 5, 10, 15, 20K per month in profit, and then start thinking about your website and seeing how you can grow and scale on there. Now, we're helping people out on a day-to-day basis, on a one-to-one and a group coaching basis on how they can start, build, scale, grow their Amazon business, own TikTok Shop business, and build brands on them platforms. So if that's of interest for you and you want to work directly with me, click the link down below in the description and book in a call with me, or send me a message on Instagram saying you're interested, and we can have a conversation about it on the call, or we can have a conversation about it on the DMs. But like, without further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you later.